Hello everybody, welcome. Wednesday the 1st of July. So, well, just been making some closed-in forms and I thought I'd bring you in on that, okay? So what I propose to do is to make one of these in front of you, and we'll talk about it as I go. So let's just get down here. Got a lump of clay there. I'm not, to be honest, exactly sure what the weight of it is, but it's got to be around about 1 kilo, maybe a fraction over. Let's weigh it and see. Nothing like being accurate, eh? Well, it's 1¼ kilos. That one. Right. So. It's a warm day here in Spain. It's 93 degrees thereabouts, and let's just bring this in for a little bit of zoom. Not too much. There we are. Right. So let's make a closed-in form, such as that. Let's go. This clay is actually quite stiff, but I think we'll manage. Says he. With a lot of shapes, I'll see if I can demonstrate this and hop off the wheel and stand by the wheel and show you what I'm doing. With a lot of shapes, you can use your hand on the inside, okay, and all you have to do is hold your hand against the outside. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but I do it quite a lot. Let me just show you what I mean. So I've gone down to the bottom now, and now I'm pulling the clay just up, using my hand on the inside. My hand on the outside is not really doing anything, it's just giving something for the hand on the inside to press against, you see. I'm talking really, I suppose, more for the initial stages of the pot. But having a hand on the outside like that does give quite a lot of steadiness to the pot. Give it a try, you'll see what I mean. Okay. We've got to keep this in at the top here because this is going to be a closed-in shape. Okay, but now I need to get some clay up. So let's bring some clay up from down there. Now about now I'm coming in now, you see. You can't let it get you can't let it run away with you and get wide. You've got to keep this fella constricted. Constricted. Okay, down to the bottom again. Let's try another lift. Now you see I'm building up a bit of surplus clay there on the top, because that I'm going to, let's just bring that like that, okay. Now keep your pots well lubricated, okay? One of the main problems I see that beginner potters and people having problems making their pots, they don't keep the pot watered. They water it sporadically, or they just dip their hands in, they don't water the pot. You've got to water the pot. Otherwise you're going to be running like an engine without oil. And if your hand catches on the side of the pot or goes dry, my head is not in the way. Okay, I want to fatten this out now a bit. So I've allowed myself some clay at the top here, number one. Number two, I'm not letting it get any wider than it needs, and I'm constantly just keeping it in, okay? The next thing I'm doing now is I'm concentrating on the area from halfway down to the foot here, getting that right, because that shape there carries the weight of the rest of the pot. So you've got to get that right. You've got to get that, the right, what am I saying, the right kind of curve here that is going to support. Hope I'm making sense. So that's what I'm about right now, just getting this. I don't want to have, you see, too low slung a belly here. Now if the belly's too low slung, what will happen? Well, it'll just sag, won't it? So I'm getting that nice round shape. Right, now I'm getting to the point where I've got to start closing in this top. Okay, so I'm using that posture, as I've spoken to you before. 1, 2, 3 points of contact on each hand. Right, at this point I have now got to clean out the slurry that's down the bottom there. Now, if when closing, as I am, always when closing you'll find it thickens, because you're taking that clay and so it gets thicker here. So as it thickens, I've got to thin it out, so I've got to lift it up. And I may just find that I haven't got, rather I have got, suddenly I've got too much clay. Well, too much clay is better than not enough, that's for sure. So now what I want to do is carry on closing it. Now you may need to stick your little finger in at this point. Bring up some of the clay. Right, I'm going to use my needle here right now to cut off a little bit of excess that I've got. I am the Eggman. So now let's just close this guy right in now. Right. I still think I've got too much clay, so I'm going to cut out a small piece. Now, although I say this is a closed-in shape, actually when I make it I leave just a little tiny hole. You actually need to leave a hole because as it dries, the pot the pot shrinks, doesn't it? And as it shrinks, it will compress the air inside the pot, so you actually need to. Right, now using my stick here, if I can do this in such a way so you can see, I'll try and do it. And just taking my stick here over the outside of the pot, taking off all that excess slurry. Well, we've got we kicked up a little bit of grit there in the clay, haven't we? Let's just come in here for a bit of detail. A bit more detail. We've kicked up a little bit of grit there. Well, this is a groggy clay, so if you're using something like a stick or a rib on the outside, you can expect that to happen. But don't worry about it, just smooth it out. Okay. Right, what I want to do is go in now at the foot here and try and now, if I feel it's got a tendency that's looking like it's sagging, okay, you can just gently lift it a little. Should be able to lift it a little bit. I'm looking for a really nice curve here, you see. This will be a raccoon egg. I might just skim the foot here, trim the foot afterwards very, very lightly. It's actually not, it won't have a very wide foot. They may just touch it up on the wheel again upside down by trimming just to. There we are. How's that looking? Always a good idea to get down off the wheel a bit and have a sideways squint at it. So that's basically how we go about making a closed-in shape. It's not that difficult, and it's, you know, it's a bit of fun. Have a go. Now, before I finish this guy, I've got to that little hole I spoke about in the tiny little hole there. I can actually fill it again afterwards, a bit later on. Okay, well, there we have it. One raku egg. Cut him off. Okay. Well. Okay, folks, there we have it. The raku egg, the closed-in form. Have a go at doing one. Don't be afraid. Keep practicing. Ciao. See you.